All right. I I already have the game running, you guys. I'm super ready. Hold on. Where's the... Okay. All I have to do is click this checkbox, and we will see the game. 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3... Oh, is that the door? I gotta go. 2, 1... Hype! Hey! Let me get the little countdown text out of the way. So good. City Skyline. Okay, so to remind you, this is a pre-release copy of the game. Does not necessarily represent what will be in the final product, obviously. Everyone should be aware of that. There might be all kinds of patches. We have no idea. Maybe this is exactly what you'll get, or maybe by the time that you get the game next week, the whole thing will have a purple skin instead of a blue one. I don't know. So yes, there's the game. So we'll take 2 seconds to go through the menu, just to give everyone a hint of what's there. This Marvelous Monorails DLC is actually for Cities in Motion 2. It's not for Cities Skyline. I was like, really? Monorails? I like monorails. Click. Oh, Cities in Motion, which is a good game. And it's by Colossal Order, the same people who make Cities Skyline. Some people have made some stuff in the workshop. I've made some stuff in the workshop. I'll show you in a second. Okay, so there's a credit buttons. We'll skip that. Options for graphic-y stuff, audio, gameplay, which has got all these hotkeys divided into different categories. Everything can be remapped. Mwah! Oh, so good. Man, that is awesome stuff. Miscellaneous over here. Log out of your Paradox account. I'm currently logged in there. I don't know what difference it makes to be logged in or out of the Paradox account, but I guess it gives you credit, right, on the Paradox forums. You get a little icon for every game that you've got. So we've got that. Content Manager is really interesting. This is how you interact with the Steam Workshop. You can see these are a bunch of the maps that are included with the game, but I also have a couple of test maps down here that I made myself, for example. Got your list of save games. You can share these as well, so I've got a bunch of save games over here. Assets. These are assets that I have made, and I can load them up. I've got a couple of interchanges. Hello, MN82, 83, 84. All right, 82, 83, 84. Thank you very much for the subscription. So I've got a couple of highway interchanges and a 2x2 city block that I made as a demo. I've got right now, let me check my tweets. I should have a bunch of videos that have just gone live. They're probably still pushing up to the subscriber feed and to Twitter. Let me verify. Indeed. And that will include, starting in an hour, there'll be a map editor tutorial that goes live, and then another hour after that, there'll be the asset editor tutorial will go live as well. So I'll show you, if you want to know how I made these, you can look at those. Mods, oops, I got to turn these off. That's right, I was doing some demos of stuff. There's bit of a text string issue there, but there's the hard mode mod that you can enable, which makes everything 25% more expensive to buy and maintain, which is quite tough. And then your unlimited money and also unlock all. When we go in here, I'm not going to have this on, but if you want to know, yes, you can have all buildings unlocked from the start. I'm going to go ahead and play with the sort of normal step-by-step progression, and then some more Steam Workshop integration there, where you can download stuff. So, and I've already made these assets. I've actually already shared them on the workshop too. So when you start to play, you should be able to use my own intersection. Tools, map editor, asset editor. We're going to skip those for now. We're going to go right into the game. And then other than that, yeah, new game. So our straw poll did in the end, at least last time I checked, have islands come out on top. So we're going to start with that. We can name our city. I'm thinking of just calling the city Streamton or Streamville. That way, when people are looking at the videos, there's Streamville. Oops, not Steam, Stream. They'll be able to quickly tell whether it's my normal Let's Play city or whether it's this live stream city here. You can turn left side traffic on and off, which is so cool. I'm going to leave it off for now because, you know, everyone reasonable in the world drives on the right-hand side of the road. I mean, come on. Anyway, islands. And then you get a little bit of preview of how many natural resources you might expect. Outside connections, suitable area for building. I think this is, I don't know if that's the entirety of the map or just your starting area where it gets these stats. But anyway, let's go ahead and pop in. Boom. What about Los Brussels? Oh, that would be another good idea, isn't it? All right, we got to do some Brussels stuff. Los Brussels. For those of you who are new, the Brussels is a big joke on my channel. Brussels, of course, is the capital of France. Everyone knows that. I feel like there was a ding for a subscription. Aramis Boavida. Thank you very much for the sub. And sorry that I missed you. Alright, so we are now in the game. Hopefully everything is streaming out fine. Now the stream is running at 30 frames per second, but the game is running much, much faster than that. In fact, there's a possibility, because there's a bit of a mismatch between my streaming FPS and the actual game FPS, we might get a little tearing, but nah, it looks pretty okay, actually. we should be fine. Let me move my head a little bit. We'll do something like this and like that. There we go. By the way, anytime I look over this way, I'm looking at my second monitor. I'm trying to read the chat. Every time I'm looking like this, I'm looking at the game. Okay. So, let's take a look at this map, because I have really... Did I load islands? Is this islands? I correctly loaded it, right? No, this looks like 2 rivers. Hang on. Did I load the right map? Maybe I got confused about which one I was playing before. New game. Islands. Lost Brussels. Yeah, I think I did. I think I got confused about what map I'd played on previously. So we'll play on islands. That's fine. Now, right away, some people are like, whoa, what's with the build area? You have to understand something. The starting build area is only the start. You can actually grow this 9 times its original size. It starts you off, again, if we're playing with the mode where not everything unlocked, you can see right now everything is grayed out. It's going to tell you sort of step by step, build a road, build this, build this, build this. But as we play, we will unlock more things, including an area 9 times this size. So you don't have to worry about space. It'll be pretty full. So, we've got our city here, we've got our highway connection, so we've got our highway coming in, we've got 3 lanes coming in, 3 lanes going out, and we have to get started. To start off with, I'll build a little bit of an area, a little bit of a town area right over here, just to sort of get the city kick-started, then we'll figure out where to go from there. So right away, first thing I'm going to do is just, I'm going to connect the start to the end, that way anyone who happens to be coming into the town and decides they've changed their mind when they see how horrible it is can make a U-turn right away. It's worth noting that this does not create a traffic light yet, which is good. We're going to try to avoid creating as many traffic lights as possible for as long as possible. Then I'm going to use some one-way streets. Best way to reduce traffic is not to make bigger roads. This is true. This is a real-life thing. Bigger roads and having more lanes and having more roads doesn't actually help reduce traffic very much in real life. However, traffic restrictions, oddly enough, like one-way streets, actually do huge things for you. So, Fatmaster6000, hey, thank you very much for the subscription. Oh, man. So we're going to have to go and build out a bit of our area to start off with here. And what I've done in my past couple of cities is I stretch out a one-way going this way, and then I get a one-way coming back, and get a nice kind of downtown core. I kind of want to shake things up a bit because I don't want all my cities to look exactly the same. But the problem is I think it's such a good start. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So I'm just going to stretch out. This is a one-way going this way. And then I'm going to want a one-way going the other. And if we look, you can see that this grid line here, which shows you where your zones will be, lines up perfectly with this highway. So as long as we start our one-way coming back like so, there we go. So now we have a one-way going in, a one-way going out. People can make a little loop over here. And again, there's no traffic lights here, which means we should have traffic flowing very, very, very nicely. Now I'm going to try to avoid building, say, right at the entrance of the town. That way it'll avoid any sort of congestion there, and we still have the option of like having zones that go off to the side. What I'll probably end up doing is, actually, let's take a look at our power situation. The wind power is very good on this map. The darker areas give us most power. The most that a wind turbine can do is 8. So if we can find a nice place that generates 8, looks like we're getting a lot of 7s here. Okay, 8's way over here. We could actually start generating power over here, and that would be okay. I can put them right up against the shore, maybe. Get a bit of a wind farm going on here. Let's zone some areas first. Let's go ahead. You know what? Let's just go ahead and drop some houses down. We can always just delete them later on. So you can use the fill tool here to zone. You can also, you can actually paint individual little squares here. Someone just subbed, and I missed it, and it's not in the chat. I'll catch it on the stream in a second here. I don't know if that does... I don't think if any house... Elevard, thank you very much for the sub. I don't know if any house can actually like come in here, but it's technically possible to have like very fine-tuned little zoning. You can use a bigger area and just sort of like paint it down like that. And you have the paint bucket. I'm really a big fan of using the marquee, where you just sort of drag out like that. What's kind of interesting is if you drag out this way, you know, the square is sort of oriented with your camera, but if you start by dragging on a zone square, it'll actually orientate your zoning square based on the first spot that you put down, which is really handy. Hey, Frostword07, thanks for the subscription. Thanks for the support. Hopefully you'll enjoy this live stream. So, houses are going to start to come in here. Of course, they're going to start complaining about the lack of power really, really, really soon. And then some water and things too. So, let's go ahead and get a bit of a turbine down. I will go ahead and build sort of close to the shore over here, because why not? Now, what you'll see is these bluish areas. While I'm in the power mode, It's actually more obvious in this mode here than when I've got the power line selected. You can see that there's sort of a blue square around some of my construction. That is the area that power flows on its own, sort of local power lines, maybe underground power lines, something like that. But right now, power isn't getting from my wind turbine to my town itself. So we'll go ahead and build some actual power lines over here, some pylons. So as long as you start anywhere in the blue area, that's going to be fine. And I'll just stretch it out to over here. We're going to get rid of this line later on because it's stupid looking. But for now, that'll help get power to my little block over here. And then after that, the power will continue to spread on its own. So we're going to do that. Now we got to figure out a little bit more of the overall structure here. Swan Hopper. Hey, thank you very much for the subscription. Appreciate that. Oh, 1 second. So, man, it's city starting anxiety. It's always so bad because you're like, what if I screw everything up? I'll just take a deep breath. All right, I can do this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and get some one-way lines here, and we're going to create sort of maybe like a square flow. So right now, traffic flows up. So let's call this north. I don't know if it's north, but let's call this north. So north on the right and then south on the left. What if we make another sort of area around this that flows the other way around, so clockwise? So we could do something like, I can just put say a one-way street here to here, and then this way. You know what I'll do? Let's use some cool curve tools. Let's get rid of that little pop-up. Thank you very much for the milestone. We're going to go and drag it out, say 2 units this way, and then 2 units this way. We'll get a nice smooth arc like this. Should I just make it a circle? That would look different from my other town, actually. My other town ended up with more of a capsule shape. Yeah, I'm going to make a circle out of this. So 1, 2, and then 1, 2. That way we get a nice perfect arc like that. We'll go and cut the street here. You'll see some unhappy faces from time to time when you like demolish a building by putting down a road like this. People do not like it when their house gets destroyed. There we go. So now we've got a nice clockwise one-way set of streets this way, and then a counterclockwise sort of inner loop this way that gets to the highway. And I think that'll help traffic flow a fair bit. Let's go ahead and get some commercial zones down. Maybe on the inside of the circle. I think I like that quite a bit. So again, I'll use this painting tool. And right now we've only got low density unlocked, so this is all going to be low density, residential and commercial. Do something like this. This is probably more commercial than we'll need in a little bit later, but for now it's okay. Let's go and get another ring of houses. Hello, Hardcore Ginger! Thanks for the sub. Oh, I can use the marquee tool at this point. It's worth noting none of the zoning tools will replace any of the existing zones, so I can go and marquee all this as residential and nothing bad will happen. If I right-click and drag, you'll see it delete things instead, which is really handy. I mean, there's a dezoning tool, but I just use right-click all the time because it's super-duper handy. Also, I think what I want to do is make a tiny bit of an adjustment there and there. And there, just because of the way that I replaced the zones. There we go, and one more over there. There. I think that's pretty good. Okay, we're going to need some industrial areas so that people can actually have jobs. Yes, people can work in commercial areas, but not as many as, say, in industrial. Now, the question is, where are we going to stick our industrial zones? Because, obviously, they're going to create a lot of pollution, especially early on. The only kind of industrial zone we can do is sort of like normal, generic industry, and that can be pretty polluting. Actually, what I want to do is I want to dezone just a little bit over here. I want to give us a little bit of space right at our entrance. There we go. Let's kick the speed up. Speed 3. There we are. Roomba's restarted already? Roomba is like, he is a professional. He is meticulous. If he's off by like 1 pixel, he'll probably restart. Our city will look derpy. His city will look gorgeous and beautiful. Let's take a look at the water map mode. One of the things to note is that water does flow. You can see the arrows quite explicitly showing it here. But even if we don't have this mode and we zoom in, you can see the water quite explicitly flows. And this is actually truly proper dynamic water. If we put a dam out here, it'll stop the water flow, but not only that, all the water over here will sort of back up and the water level will go up. And then if you destroy the dam, you'll get this big wave of water that comes crashing down, and it's just awesome. So, we got a bit of power shortage. We need some water as well. Let's go ahead and get this kick started. What I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to make a water intake up here. And I'm going to put a sewage outflow over here. It's very important that your sewage is downstream from your water intake. Otherwise, you're going to get a very, very sick population. So I'm going to drag a water pipe out to here, get all these connected. All your water pipes are twin water pipes, so you're actually laying down 2 water pipes at a time, one for sewage, one for water. And then what I'm going to do is drag a pipe that goes kind of like this. There we go. And just hook it up there. And we'll get a pipe that goes off this way, and then there we go. Trying to minimize overlap here, but not doing a very good job of it. Just, you know, the overlap doesn't hurt, just slightly extra expense that I don't want. Meanwhile, power is good. Some places are complaining about power because, oh, because of the way we change things, we're not actually hooked up. There we go. Let's just run this across here. It'll de-zone things temporarily, but they'll come back later on. There we go. Now we're connected. Oh, we do need to run some power to here. Now that's one of the things with the fact that I'm a little spread out here. We are spending a little bit of extra money getting the initial setup, but we should start to turn a profit relatively soon. We do need to get our industry up so that people can work. What I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to take a road off from here and bring it out this way, because your industry will ship a lot of goods in and out of town, and what I want to avoid is I want to avoid having the heavy industrial trucks go through my town. Later on, we'll actually be able to set explicit policies to forbid heavy trucks in areas, but for now I think that's going to be a relatively good way to do it. Can you curve the pipes? No, the pipes cannot be curved. They are straight. But the roads and rail can be curved. The pipes cannot be. You don't see the pipes, so maybe that's the reason they're like, well, who cares if they're curved or straight or anything like that. Which I suppose would be fair. All right, industrial area. What I'm going to do is, so I've got my one way. I could actually go and use one of these 4-lane roads. K Pinguino. Hey, thank you very much for the subscription. Appreciate the support, of course, as always. Let's, oh, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bulldoze this little 2-way thing for my turnaround. And instead, I'm going to use the 4-lane 2-way, I call it an avenue, over like that. Now, maybe we'll do a little bit of a curve here. Let's use the free draw tool, which I'm a big fan of. I'm going to set sort of a control point here, and just sort of come around, maybe something like this. They're quite expensive. You got to be careful with these roads. They add up a lot. And then we can go back to, say, the 2-way roads and build like a little industrial neighborhood over here. If we follow the grid line out by 1 and then draw it that way. Oh, right, it's a double thick road, so that doesn't actually apply. We got to go 1 more tick out. There we go. Oh, apparently I'm wrong on both counts. Normally on the small roads, let's go ahead and bring that in like this. On the small roads, if you go out 1 guideline and then come like this, you can see that the zoning, so you can see these squares, here's my existing zonable areas, and here it lines up perfectly, so we don't get a single square wasted space. On the other hand, in industrial zones, it's actually quite good often to leave a little bit of gap so you can build a bunch of trees to soak up some of the pollution. So if I do this and then come down, yeah, there's a little bit of overlap. Gotta go 1 extra tick, because this lane is so thick. There we go. Oh, it's also not quite straight. That's right, I'm using curved roads. It's not straight. That's what's messing up all the calculations. So I missed someone again. Peta! Thanks for the subscription. All right, so we're going to have that. Let's go ahead and zone this whole area as industrial. So we'll do this, and actually let me click here, and then drag that out nicely, and nicely like that, and maybe, you know what? I'm changing my mind. I don't want this spot here to be industrial. I want this to be industrial. I'm going to put some more residential down along the way. I don't know how much. Something like that. I'm also going to go ahead and put in just a little road over here, and I'll use it for something later on, but actually the reason I'm doing it right now is to give people a place where they can make U-turns. So we'll figure out what we want to do there. We could put in a little bit more commercial. Let me leave it on nice high speed. And we do currently have a lot of industrial demand, but I think that's going to drop off relatively quickly here as this fills up. Of course, this area won't currently get any power. So let me connect up to here and do this. Again, all these power lines will go away later on. Oh, they're also not going to have any water, and they will want water. Like that. Let's do it this way. Like that. Like that. And like that. All right, we got 10,000 bucks left. We're currently losing some money. But I think as more and more people arrive in town, that will improve. Everyone's got water, everyone's got power. Now, we do have a milestone here. Once we reach a 400 population, we'll be a little hamlet, and that will unlock some more services. What I might want to do is connect up something here. In fact, what I'm going to do is, this is going to add up to quite a bit of money. is I want to be on, yeah, the sort of free draw tool. I want to bring this out and sort of curve it out this way to something like this. And then I want to take my highway tool. Oh, the highways. Oh, that's not highway. Derp, that's one-way streets. Take my one-way streets, bring it out to here. And then I want to take this one. I'm not on the straight tool. It's not going to line up perfectly just because that road is not... Actually, I guess I could start it here. That way this stays nice and straight. But then from here, we'll do something kind of like that. Now, here we do have some... no, there's no traffic lights. Oh, there is some here, but not here. That makes me really happy, actually. I guess because here you'd have to make a... You want to make a left-hand turn into that? I'm actually not sure why it made the traffic intersection one way versus the other. And yeah, overall, I like to avoid traffic lights because it does, just like in real life, slow things down, but sometimes you just need it. All right, we are now a little hamlet. We are a Shakespearean play. So what has it done for us? It's unlocked the ability for us to tune taxes as well as take out loans. New services, garbage, healthcare, and education. Not only has it unlocked it so that we can build it, but now there's actually going to be demand for those things. So you don't want to sit on your hands. Once you've unlocked one of these things, you want to get these things down pretty quickly. So you can see we've got elementary school, medical clinic, and a landfill site. Also, every time you reach a milestone, you do get a little bit of a bonus amount of cash, which is good because we very quickly want to build these services. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put a landfill down over here near the industrialized area. Maybe we'll put it like right on the water because, you know, that seems like a good idea. We'll get the pollution to seep into the river and kill everyone. It's okay. It's downstream. Doesn't affect us at all. So we'll get that going. So what'll happen is the garbage dump, the landfill site here, there we go, we'll eject these little garbage trucks. And we can follow this stuff, and we can rename this. This is going to be the poubelle truck. There we go, a little Franglish in there. And so this truck is going to go around. You can see here its load as it goes by the building. Most vehicles, transport trucks, ambulances, fire trucks, police truck or cars, will stop at the buildings. The garbage trucks sort of pick up the garbage as they just drive by over here. Which, I mean, I guess, you know, they do the thing where they sort of maybe slow. The guy gets out, just grabs the garbage bag, throws it in, then keeps going. I don't know. We don't have any power here. Well, it'll spread. I don't really want to build a lot of power lines because I'm trying to save money and stuff. But what the hell? Let's go ahead and extend that over there. Actually, at this point... Oh, we just literally don't have enough power. Time to build another windmill. So we'll put it side by side over here. So I like the windmills because while the upfront cost is a little bit higher. So the coal power plant does 40 megawatts. The windmill does 8 at the max. So the coal power plant does 5 times as much. Yes, 5 times as much for only being about 3 times more expensive to buy. However, the difference is the coal power plants has an upkeep of $5.60 per week, which means you're paying somewhat more than $10 a week for your per megawatt. Whereas the windmill, assuming you can get your 8 megawatts, it's 80 per week, so you're paying exactly $10 a week per megawatt. So in the long run, the windmills pay off. Also, no pollution. However, you will notice when we put down these windmills, they do have this this orange radius. That's noise pollution. You can see by the little headphones there. They do produce some noise. Some people say, well, windmills are quiet, and other people will be like, haven't you heard of windmill syndrome? Or wind turbine syndrome. Listen, there's always someone who will complain about something, so there you go. Ruben! Hey, thanks for the sub. I also still feel like I missed a subscription, and I feel awful about that. Line broken. These lines don't matter. Like, they don't have to be explicitly connected, because as long as they're in the blue area, they're going to be fine. Over here, we're fine. No one's complaining about power. We're good. Zoning. We've got that zoning in there. Let's keep it on speed 3 for a little while. Oh, okay. We're going to get the healthcare down. Right now, we've got no sick citizens, which is really nice. If you don't put down your healthcare for a while, what you'll end up is a big backlog of sick people. And you'll put down one clinic and be like, health capacity 100, sick citizen 450, and you'll be like, oh my god, I have to put down a bunch of extra clinics. You don't have to. The people will get treated and will not be sick eventually, and then we'll get better. However, it is a good idea for us to build these clinics as soon as possible. Just try to keep people healthy. So let's go ahead and drop one down over here, and we've also got a school. Oh, I don't have enough money for the school, so we'll wait on that. Keep the speed up. Making some money right now, and people are still moving to town, so we're going to be fine. We don't have to rush for the education quite as much. Build more residential. We actually have a fair bit of residential zoning here. We might actually go and zone a little bit more residential near the industrial area, but pollution will start to seep into the ground. Most of them right now, we just have to wait for people to move into town, and they are moving. We're getting 60 people per day, As long as people are happy, they will generally move in, assuming you've got places to live. Oh, we can put some more residential up here, though. I think that will be fine. And, you know, if you build it, they will come. Let's use the fill tool. Like, even this area here, even though it's thinner, right? It's not the full floor. People will move into the middle. I actually really like putting commercial in these little in-between areas. For some reason, it feels good to me. So you got kind of the local shopping district. But I'm trying to mix it up. If you watch the Let's Play on YouTube, it will be different from this layout, which makes me happy. Not super different, because the basics always start the same, right? I think what we'll do with this this 2-lane is we'll keep looping it around here. And I like the fact that it's not like square, but it's also not a smooth circle. Just sort of a freehand, sort of la-di-da kind of drawing thing going on here. Are we low on power again? We are, so we got to build another one of these bad boys. And that's it. With the wind turbines, there is a slightly increased initial cost. There we go, 8. Again, they're slightly more expensive to start off with than the coal, but there's a nice long-term payoff. Look at that! Hey, John sucks. Don't say that about John. What's wrong with you? We are now a worthy village, which now unlocks a new area if we want. Also, we've unlocked the ability to do districts and policies, more loans, fire department, police department, specializations, more policies, more policies, more policies. Okay, so first of all, what is this area thing? Let's zoom out to the world here. Now we can see we've got our starting square, but I can now buy any of these adjacent squares. So if we wanted to go down here, for example, I'd spend 4,100 bucks, and boom, I now have an area twice as big as SimCity. Just like that. And again, eventually, hey, a tasty Timbit? How's it going? Thanks for the subscription. The actual area of purchasable space is it's 5 by 5 of these squares, 25 squares to choose from. Although the game as shipping, you'll only be able to unlock 9 of them. Technically, it is possible to mod it so that you have access to all 25. But Colossal Order have said, listen, this might cause your computer to burst into flames. It might, you know, have crashes. It might be slow and unplayable. We wash our hands of it. If you go above 9, we don't know. But it's technically possible. And there's going to be some mods right away that just unlocks all that stuff. Because some people have really powerful computers and they're like, I can cool it with liquid nitrogen, you know. No problem there. We can pull something off. So that's it. So I'm so sorry. Oh, so many people totally not sad. Well, oh, the Rose Garden. I missed your sub. I'm missing tons of them. Josh Rubino, thank you very much for the subscription. This, of course, I knew it was going to be a crazy stream, but this is like crazy to the 10th degree. So I see no reason to buy another zone right now. We get tons of room to build still. Let's not rush. We'll figure out what we want to do. We could just buy this island. That's kind of fun. You can buy this area here, and what's interesting about it is it's not really connected to our starting area. People will have to get out to the highway to get there. And so what you can do is you can make a bunch of little individual towns. Joseph, hey, thanks for the sub. You make a bunch of little individual towns, and then over time maybe they'll grow and merge together, which is exactly what happens in real life. Most big cities started off as these individual little towns and districts and boroughs, and then just sort of smooshed together into one big megalopolis. Metropolis? Megalopolis? Megalopolis is a word, isn't it? Fuck, I don't know. Hey, we've got our district tool. This I love. So it's got some gameplay functions, but the thing I love most about it is just be able to name things. So I'm going to call this area here. This is going to be our downtown. Oh, actually, let me trim out so that we don't get that dual lane. Because in my downtown, I'm going to want to forbid heavy traffic later on when that becomes a policy. So, it gives you a name to start off with, Robin Heights. So we're going to name this. Where's my subscription list? This is this is going to be the Derpy Turtle Downtown. The Derpy Turtle Downtown. Name these after subscribers. And then we're going to put another region. These districts are free. So we'll call this area here. Oops. I got to get out of the tool and then click on the name tag. This is going to be the Snikomu Industrial Park. There we are. There we go. So there we go. Snikomu Industrial Park and the Derpy Turtle Downtown. I like the fact that it's an alliteration. I should aim for more of those if I can. Voila! And we can set policies. So we can set policies citywide. Now, early on, we only have access to these 3. We can reduce power usage, reduce water usage, Both of those require an upkeep per building, and also we can reduce the risk of fire. But again, there's an upkeep per building. So you tend to spend more money. It's cheaper to just build more power plants. But if you don't have enough money to build more power right now, you just need to like kill a couple of days, you can afford to like maybe take a little bit of a financial hit, you know, reduce your income, but then get through in the meantime without having your city collapse. But you see later on we'll unlock a lot of things, including unlocking recreational drug use. 420, legalize it every day. Darksider, hey, thanks for the subscription. And then there's also taxation policies and city planning. For example, I think it's under city planning that we can later on ban heavy traffic. Now, this is citywide, but if I click on a region, on a district, I'm now setting a district policy for Derpy Turtle Downtown specifically. So I can ban heavy traffic in Derpy Turtle Downtown by itself while leaving it allowed everywhere else. That's awesome. Okay, we still need to put down a police station and fire station, yeah, before everything burns down. There's a fire risk sort of everywhere. I don't know if industry is more or less likely to burst into flames. What I think I'm going to do is actually I'm going to put my fire station right here, because this way it can immediately sort of turn down here and then decide which way it wants to go in Dual Lane Avenue, and it should hopefully be able to service both the downtown and the industrial park relatively well. You can see the green service area isn't great. It will still reach the others, but it's not necessarily ideal. Maybe I should just stick it downtown and with these one-ways. Well, you know what? Since there's not much going on here, I'm actually just going to explicitly build it right here. Again, they can leave the fire station going right and then decide which way they want to go on the 4-lane. This should be able to service downtown, but that'll be a decent start. And then my police station, what I'll do is... Oh, I still don't have my school down yet. Tell you what, let me start with the school. Variety Gamer, hey, thanks for the sub. Do you play a variety of games? Are you like a variety show? Well, this is a one-way. I forgot that that's a one-way. Is that what we want? Sure. School there, and a police station right next to the school, because those damn kids never stop getting off my lawn. Gartrum! Egg and chip! Oh, egg and chip. That's just a great breakfast. I think we're a little low on power. We are low on power. Also, not everything may be connected, I've just realized. So we can still get an 8 megawatt windmill right over there, and then we're sort of broke. If we look at the power thing... Oh, no, look, power is reaching from here to there. Perfect. That's exactly what we're looking for. All right, we've got a building on fire already. Look at the fire trucks. Big buildings like this, wide buildings, there will be like one fire truck I think can come for like every square that it sort of touches the road, which is important because buildings seem to take longer to put out than the small ones. So it's amazing when you later on you unlock these like crazy huge monuments. We can't look at the level 6 ones, but they're ginormous buildings, and sometimes it's like a 6-alarm fire. Like, oh my god, the flames are really impressive in those big buildings. Quill, can fire and police and ambulance go through traffic jam? I don't believe so. Which is why, just like with everything else, like if traffic is literally clogged up and nothing can move, then you're going to have a hard time getting things done. I don't think cars pull over necessarily to let the emergency vehicles get through. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe Totally Moo can do that, but I can see that as like being a weird and hard thing to program. But that's why it's so important to keep the traffic flowing. Everything in a real life, but also in every city simulator ever, traffic flow determines the success of your city, or rather can lead to the failure of a city, because if people can't get to school, they can't get to the hospitals, or rather the ambulances can't pick up people, for example. Your police can't get places, your fire can't get places, your garbage trucks, if they can't get places, you're also going to be really quite screwed. So you gotta make sure that that's going okay. Looks like we could use a lot more industrial area, or sorry, not industrial, residential area, so I'm going to do that. I'm actually thinking what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect up this bit of road over here. And we'll make it a nice little curve. I think that's... Oh, if we do that, we're going to go through that building. I think that's going to be... Okay, let's make it a little more interesting. Trying to think about the traffic flow. We can always get rid of this later on. And yeah, some people are cranky because they just bulldozed their house. Deal with it. We're going to do this and this. Again, I'm trying to avoid having my residential right up against my industrial, because it'll make them cranky. We'll do something like that, and then we'll drop down some commercial areas so people can go shopping on their way to work or something like that. We might want to put down a park. In fact, I think... Oh, I haven't unlocked parks yet. I'm thinking we'll put a park right down over here to try to counter the pollution. You can see here all the grass is dying. It's going to turn to this like bluish, grayish, purplish kind of yucky, toxic waste color. Oh, the on-street parking is nice. Yeah, which I don't think I've ever seen in City Builder before. Tiny town. Okay, we've unlocked our decorations, our level 2 unique buildings. We can now ban pets, smoking, and we've got the Parks and Recreation TV show that people can watch. And no, wait, that's not what it does. It increases the effectiveness of your parks and plazas. We've also unlocked high schools. So now I've unlocked the parks. I'm going to go ahead and tuck one in right over there. Just the small park. Just going to put in the small park right here. That way we'll have some trees that will block out some sound pollution. Right, this is the sound pollution, which we're getting quite a bit of it over here. I think it's because these commercial areas generate a fair amount of sound, but also traffic. And then we've got pollution, which is here, which will seep out of the industrial area. So we'll try to keep those parks around, just to try to keep that a bit more manageable. We can look at the other map modes. We've got our electricity map mode, which you've seen every time we put down the cable. The water map mode we looked at earlier. Garbage, so you can see if there starts to be an accumulation of garbage anywhere. Right now, we're looking pretty good. Education. Education is still kind of poor. I think having the school in the one-way may or may not be ideal. We'll see. It'll get there, partially, like they're uneducated now, but what will happen is people will slowly educate over time. One of the policies that you get later on, education boost. Right now, young adults will sometimes choose to work and sometimes go to school. If you turn on education boost, it'll apparently increase the priority at which they spend on education versus working right away. So that might cause your people to get educated faster. Hey, Jimpan666, thanks for the sub. Map modes. Happiness. Relatively happy, except for a couple of people who are cranky, which will probably resolve themselves relatively soon. Health. Health is pretty good. A little less over here, because they are a little further away from the clinic. I'm not going to say that this layout is necessarily ideal, but it's a layout. Oh, here's something I might want to do. Actually, I'm going to do this. I'm going to use a two-way road. Actually, do I want to make it even a 4-lane? Maybe I'll do a 4-lane. I get my straight tool. I'm going to pick what looks like the middle. Right around here. I'm going to actually connect through my downtown. Now, it is going to create some extra intersections, but the ability for people to sort of turn around and go different ways may actually be better. We'll see how it goes. And, oops, I want, not the paint bucket, I want the marquee tool. No, that's not what I wanted at all. I thought I was on residential. Cancel, cancel, cancel. Residential. Always need a lot more residential than everything else. Let's go ahead and just residential up this area, for example, just to have some more living quarters. Almost certainly we'll be kicking a lot of these people out of their houses later on. But there we go. Wow. Yeah, I don't think we want to be spamming, like, pre-ordered stuff. We want to be able to actually chat in the chat. Feel the road is too big. This one might be. We'll see. Later on, it might pay off, because I think what we can do is then continue this 2-lane avenue. And I always call it an avenue. Oh, okay. I was going to say continue it this way. You see, I can't continue it right now. Why is that? Well, it's because we have our clinic in the way. See this clinic right over here? It was blocking the way. So in most games, you'd have to bulldoze this and then rebuild it. You don't have to do that here. There's a tool, relocate building. I'm going to relocate it just slightly to the right. Now, you do have to spend for that, but it's a fraction of the cost of rebuilding it. You see, like, because it sort of kind of deletes the building and then recreates it, you get unhappy faces followed by happy faces. But now, we can continue it this way. And I think I'm ultimately going to be quite happy with something like that, and then continue the town over there. Looks like, yep, we've got no water over here, so let's do that. Let's actually build following the road like that. City's still growing. We're still making some money. No real disasters have kicked in yet. Oh, we are out of power as our city continues to grow. Yep, we need more electricity. As the Wizards of Harry Potter say. I think we're going to need 2 of these. Yeah. Our city is growing crazy fast. Oh, technically can't reach the power there anymore. Let's just do it this way. I could build a power line, but you know what? We'll need another windmill later on. Or turbine, I should say. There we go. And I like having a bunch of turbines all in a row. I also like that you can zoom in and, like, they've got little writing on them. Wind star. And they actually follow the direction of the wind. I don't know. As the day changes, they rotate around. See? They're facing a different direction. Now, they don't rotate constantly. I think the game just like, okay, the winds shift. Now we have to turn so that we're facing the wind again. It's awesome. I don't know. I'm very entertained by that. You forgot residential zoning. Yeah, so we'll probably, or forgot residential zoning, or we forgot to maybe push out downtown. Like, I could count this as being part of downtown. Let's go to the smaller tool, actually. So basically, everything that's not right on the or rather the 4-lane avenue, we'll do something like that. So there's a fire that got put out. Everything is growing. Population is still going up. We got some money. Yes, I know we got a high school, but I don't know if I want to build it yet. And see, our elementary school is almost at full capacity already. 27% of the citizens have graduated through it. And we've got 23% educated citizens in our town as a whole. You can also get these stats district by district, unless I'm wrong. I might be wrong. I thought you could. How do we do it? District mode. So I can get the district mode, find out children's, teens, young adults, and adults. Maybe there's none of that. Here's one thing we can do is check for natural resources. And if we do that, we find out that there's a massive... Over here, this is fertile land. This is all place where we could build farming industry. And I think that sounds swell. So let's go ahead. Now, if I'm going to make one request from anyone Totally Moose watching, maybe, still I'm not sure, is I would like to be able to have the natural resource view on while I build a road, or put down a district, for example. I would find that very, very useful, so I could guide it. What I'm going to do is just put down the road by itself, sort of the path that I want, and then I'm going to come back and rezone afterwards. Yeah, we are on the sort of... What do they call this one? Freeform road, which I like, because you can make, like, awesome little wiggly-wobbly roads. But here I'm going to use it to sort of do a bit of an arc. Oh, we cut a power line that goes like this, and I'll continue it a little further. So it's not an actual circle, but it's pretty good. And then we'll connect it up like that. And then we'll reconnect our power line so that our town doesn't just suddenly collapse. Like so. Sorry, people! You got your power on again. We are going to have to actually change... You know, I could run the power line to just here, and that would connect my entire town up with power. And would free up this area for more buildings. We'll probably do that in a second. Now, I think the grass is slightly more yellow in the fertile areas. Yeah, even on the map. So what we'll do is we'll set up a bit of a farming area over here. I could even use dirt roads if I really wanted, like, flavor. Dirt roads are cheaper, but they're also a lot slower. I think I'll use a regular road. And what we'll do, let's use the freeform tool here. We'll pop off like that. Sort of do one of those. Actually, we'll even come around here and do a bit of a loop on ourselves. And then... There we go. And what we'll do is, first of all, we will go and district this whole area up. This is going to be a farming community. Right over here. And by that, what I mean is, we're going to click on Anchor Park. We're going to go into Policies. Oh, I can't do the... Oh, no, wait, I can. It's not in there. It's here. And then I click on Farming Industry. So now, this area, which is not going to be called Anchor Park, it's going to be called... Who's our next person on our list? The Detective Jones Fields. This is my farming area. And now, any industry we zone over here will actually be farmland. So let's just use a big marquee. Oh, I had the bucket tool. Sorry, I'm missing a sub. Oh, gods. No, I missed it. Nurgle Fun. Hey, thanks for the sub. Nurgle Fun. I'm going to have to come back with a paint bucket just because I'm trying to avoid... Actually, hold on. No, I'm being stupid. Let's marquee here. Pause for a second. Go to the paint bucket and then just right-click the things I don't want to be farming, which is to say, right along the highway itself. I mean, I can. There's no reason not to, but I think I'll feel better if I do something rather like that. So there we go. So now we'll have a bit of a farming area. They will want water. So the farming areas are interesting, and actually if I click on the zone specialization, we can get some information about it. So let me go and check on that in a second to show you. So how are we doing on water? Lots of water, lots of sewage. In fact, I could probably go and bring down the budget for water treatment